Okay. Let's get the microphone set up, shall we? Let's be a little bit better. There we go. This wasn't really good, was it? Let's find something else. It's not really. How's it going, Cat Peasant? How you doing, buddy? Try this for a bit. Hello, Minxie. How you doing? Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate it. Thank you. Ah, right. We'll go with this for now. Don't need this. I'm good. Good. Had a long sleep. Oh my god, it was so good. I went to bed very early. I was thinking, like, should I do another stream? And then I said, no. Just laid down and I passed out. It was wonderful. So all good. All taking a boo. Oh, man. What a day. What a day. All right. You want a bit of game, doll? We can swing that. Don't do that. Let's see. What game do we have today? All right. So this is the... Could this be Cabell? Big. Okay. No. This is... And it's not Firewatch. I don't know. I'm going to do this to you guys. Now you guys can guess away. What is this? I thought this was like the wild at heart. I'm just guessing. I have no idea what this game is. I thought this was some kind of hunting game, like Cabela's Hunt or whatever, but Duck Hunt. Yeah, it clearly is one of those hunting game, but it's not. Nothing about wild either. The wild at heart, we tried that already. We tried the hunter as well, didn't we? Okay, no, that was it. I have no idea what this game is. I have never played this game. Outer Wilds, yeah. It's funny how we are as people, right? If you can watch a movie and they shoot like 300 people, you'd be like, ha 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 ha, and then they shoot a dog, you're like, no! Not the dog. I've watched Borderlands, the movie, and I will save you the awful movie that was. If you like the games, you will hate the movie. If you've never played or heard of the games, you will hate the movie because it's just really, really bad. It's really hard to describe how bad this movie is. It makes no sense. I have no idea why they cast that guy, what's his name, as Roland. There's no part of me playing the game that thinks, oh yeah, he's some kind of comedian dude, isn't he? My God. It was so bad. And apparently you can watch this movie on YouTube. Although... just because you can watch it doesn't mean you should watch it, because it truly is terrible. Did I tell you how bad it is? I can't stress this enough. It is so bad. I love the games. I thought Borderlands 1 and 2 were really good. I haven't given 3 a proper go yet, but damn. So bad. So bad. There are other things. Yes, you can watch other things on YouTube that are not as bad as that. Do we need this to be mutable? No. I have Cat Peasant. That is a really good article, and you linked this to me a long time ago, or some time ago, and I linked this to chat some time ago as well. It has to do with Dunbar's number, right? There you go. I think it's a funny article. I think it's worth reading, right? It's because they're outside of a monkey sphere. No, I think younger generations aren't into movies. So I talked about this with my wife so my kid used to watch movies when she was young. So I have inadvertently, without sitting down to watch a whole movie with my kid, I have watched My Little Pony, Frozen, Secret Lives of Pets 1 and 2, Trolls. There's some more movies that I've seen them, but I've never seen the whole movie, but I have still seen the whole movie, right? Because my kid just used to watch this over and over again. These days, she doesn't want to watch movies. Bonnie Temporis. She has no interest in movies whatsoever. You got a red card, everyone. So yeah, I don't think the younger generation really cares about movies. I think to the younger generation, movies are just very, very long, expensive to produce YouTube clips, right? I did Temporis. I feel like I had to try to save at least a few more people than you, and I also mentioned it to Danaka as well. I reckon it did. Hello, Crispy. How are you doing this morning? Yeah, I mean, I do like to sit down and watch movies every now and then because it's a very special thing to watch a whole movie for me. Like a morning, yeah. Should we go back to bed now then? So the whole movie thing is very rarely I get to sit down and watch a whole movie. The amount of TV I consume is generally I sit down and I start watching an episode of some kind while I'm eating, and I eat a meal in about 15 minutes, which you shouldn't, but I am a fast eater, especially when I'm alone and the TV's on. I eat my food and then I stop watching whatever I watch. So it usually takes me like 2 days to get through an episode sometimes. Used to go to the theater, but like the movie theater or the actual theater. I like it, man. Although I never really think we can solve the lying down typing, the ergonomics of lying down and typing, right? I don't think that's actually we could do that with split keyboard, right? You can sort of like have your keyboards on the side. See, this is truly the pinnacle of engineering. Why we need split keyboards is so you can type laying down, right? Yeah, I think so. I feel like movies are kind of movies are dying with our generation. That's what I'm saying. To say something very dramatic, all right? Movies are dying with our generation. Doesn't the back end have to be mutable? No, it doesn't. Fair enough. So is the other arm not functioning at all? Can you regain mobility in that? I remember this from the first time you told me this years ago, right? And I wondered about that. Like, what do you do when you have like low mobility in terms of typing? So have you thought about something like the frog board, right? Have you thought about something like this thing, right? Which is like a whole QWERTY keyboard, but it's very small, right? So I'd say it's about the size of the key region of one of these things, right? And I guess you could definitely program a keyboard to work as a one-handed keyboard as well, right? Say what now? Yeah, you kind of have to invest time into these things, right? I don't know if this is the world's best one-handed keyboard. But yeah, so you can see how small this thing is, right? And when I bought this thing, I thought this was going to be genius, right? I'd be like, wow, this is really cool. And you can sort of like have one hand on your keyboard, one hand on your mouse. And this was the one I used to develop on the Windows. And I should have got this instead, because this is clearly much better, right? But yeah. Oh, shit. Well, we have YouTube as well, Cat Peasant. For those of you who don't know. Oh, shit. I didn't announce my stream. Hang on. Let me go and fix that. Copy. Oh, man, I don't love it when they override right click. All right. You can use this one, Cat Peasant, if you want. If you have issues with that. Okay. So what should we do with this thing now? Where should we go from here, right? Hello, Shubcode. I just drew some nonsense on screen yesterday, and then I think we just left it, and now I am missing some component ID in here. Cursor, yeah. So this is a weird error message, right? Because this one complains that this assertion fails, but in reality, it's a missing template. That is the problem, right? But we don't know that until runtime, so. Yeah. I have YouTube chat open on another screen though, Cat Peasant. I'm just not very good. Red card doesn't work there, right? I'm just not very good at interacting with the YouTube chat, right? So I should try to be a little bit better, right? But I might take a bit longer to reply. Oh my god! So back to the gym today. Back to the gym. That was good. I dropped basically a notch on every single weight. In anticipation of that like twitchy pain in the back, but it never came, so I'm happy about that. Rusty old codger, yeah, that's pretty good though. That's pretty good. Is there an actual reason to try to insert a component when the template is parsed and it counts as a component as opposed to looking if the component exists, if it doesn't throw an error? I don't know how to answer that. So I don't have like an answer to that in my head, right? The question can definitely be answered, right? But I'm a little bit I'm sort of I'm in sort of an intelligence coma right now until I've come out of it. So every time I work out, my brain gets a little bit stoned, is the best way I can describe it. And it takes me some time to get out of it. And usually I just sort of flop down in the sofa until it's over. It's a very pleasant feeling, but you also feel pretty stupid. Coma is my default. Hello, Enrico. Yes, it is that, Cat Peasant. It is definitely brain dolphin overload. And you get a bit stupid, and you get a little bit like, and it takes a while to get a snap out of it as well, right? Trying out for what? Cheerleading? Because I failed. Apparently they don't do cheerleading here in Bonneville. I've gone back to gym working on my affect. Good work. So it's a process, right? It doesn't have to be gym. It's like anything we do in life. Everything is a process and part of our life. Like build it into your lifestyle. So it's not like I'm gonna do this for 2 weeks. I'm gonna do that for 3 weeks. I'm gonna try this diet for a month and things like that, right? Just build it into your lifestyle instead and just make it part of who you are. I love tricep exercises. They for some reason they feel the best. And I think everyone has this with whatever we do, right? Whether it's cooking, workout, whatever you do, you find the things that you really like, maybe programming, you find the things you really like, and you kind of keep coming back to these things, right? So there's all these things that you're supposed to do. Say programming, you're supposed to know a bunch of things, but you kind of find the things that really entertains you, that you really enjoy, right? And you do that. Right? Been cheating for all of us for ages. Oh, thanks, Mingsu. I almost choked in my tea there out of excitement. Yeah, no, I think it's very important to build these things into your lifestyle instead of not, right? So if you, for instance, if you decide to change something in your life, maybe you want to get into knitting because apparently that's cool, then and if you spend 2-3 days a week not knitting, that's also fine, right? Because it's part of your lifestyle, right? We should not give up on something just because we don't do it all the time, or every day, right? I was supposed to do a video this morning, or I sit down and start writing on the video this morning, and I didn't, which means I have another day. I'm procrastinating with the things that I know would procrastinate from doing. What is this? Do we procrastinate against something? How does this work, right? Knitting, not eating, whatever you want. So I started like coming up with this idea for a demo, but I think that there are some issues that we need to resolve. So first of all, the Anathema channel on Discord has now become overwhelming with information, which means that I am not going to be able to catch up with it, right? But Anathema, this is fine. This is not a problem. I'm just saying this. If people are writing and commenting on things, I'm likely gonna miss it, right? I'm likely gonna miss these things. Yeah, so we're parking these things until further notice, so that one's fine. Is there anything on the guide that we need to deal with? Hello, Grimbo, how you doing? Sorry, I caught myself. Grim, I caught myself. I almost went there, but I didn't. How you doing? Welcome, Raiders. Hope you had a good stream. Well, yeah. So to clarify my terrible joke on your stream. So there is, and I'm sure you've run into this yourself, though, Grim. There is like an abundance of people out there who will watch a lot of programming content but never write code, and then they do this to entertain themselves, but they do it under the guise of learning. But there is no learning happening, right? You're just enjoying the content, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as long as you're honest with yourself, watching 12 hours of YouTube content to learn how to program, and you write not a single line of code in that time, you are not learning anything. You're just entertaining yourself, and that's fine. But as long as you don't tell yourself, oh, I've been learning programming for the last 12 hours, you haven't. You've been watching YouTube videos for the last 12 hours, right? So that was the long version of my terrible joke on your stream, though, right? I'm good, though. I'm good. I'm tired, but good. But here we are, right? Here we are. Almost like woodworking on YouTube. I'm very guilty of that, Crispy. I love watching woodworking videos, and I don't do an awful lot of woodworking, though. But I have a new blade for my sword, so I'm very happy about that, right? Yes, that's what I was referring to. 30 now, the threshold? Yes. So if you guys find yourself doing this, as long as you're honest with yourself, that like I'm watching these videos and I'm entertained, not I'm watching these videos, it's okay that I don't practice because I'm learning through the video. You're not, okay? You're not learning anything, right? Seated dip exercise for the last 12 hours. My tricep already feels sore. Seated dips are hard on the shoulders, though, right? Seated dips really, like, I can feel that so much in my shoulder. I try to not do either of them, right? Thank you for the follows, by the way. Once you try to code, you put your hand on the keyboard, and yes, exactly. That's exactly what happens, Hybrid. You watch the videos, and then you sit down, and you're going to write something, and you go, wait, how does any of this actually work? I don't know how any of this works, right? YouTube woodworking is hazardous, not educational at all. Almost all of it is entertainment with hazardous behaviors. Yeah, so the thing is, I don't really care too much about policing other people's behaviors, right? If you if you are throwing rocks at a running table saw without a riving knife, I don't care. That's you. Right? I definitely don't care if people make mistakes or anything like that. I mean, like, they do the videos, they do their own thing, right? I'm not the world's nanny, right? But there is an insane amount of hazardous behaviors in these videos. I totally agree with you. I just don't care about it. I'll be like, yeah, you guys do what you want, right? I also think that there's like certain things that you don't learn through YouTube videos, right? You can learn cooking, but you're not gonna learn open heart surgery through YouTube videos, right? Oh man, I was so tired, mate. I went to bed right after. I just popped in and said hi, and then I just went to bed and passed out, man. And it looked like you were like into some really cool game as well, right? Either I watch them for entertainment or watch them for entertainment and then grab the sources to learn. Yeah, but as long as you do the learning part, then it's fine, right? But again, I'm not judging anyone, right? You guys got to do whatever you want to do, right? But it's advantageous to be honest with yourself when you do things. I love watching YouTube videos. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. The funny thing is, I was watching this YouTube channel. I'm not going to mention which one it is now because of what I'm going to say. So I was watching this YouTube channel and I thought like, wow, this dude is really funny. And like this whatever they're doing here is really funny. And then a couple of videos later, someone else was making content for that channel and they were shit at something. And it put me off the entire channel because they were shit. And I was like, wow, it's really easy how influenced we are about these things, right? You need to be aware of the behavior is hazardous. I mean, yeah, but it's not my job to make sure that anyone else does their own due diligence, right? If you watch a woodworking video or you go out and buy a table saw and you don't know anything about kickbacks or anything like that, right? That certainly isn't like on me. And arguably, it's not on the content creator either, right? Because that's what it is. It's content creation. We can't hold other people responsible because we don't do our own diligence, right? Which I think is very. I haven't heard of anyone getting sued for making a video that turned out to be stupid. Because I guess we would all be in court all day, every day if that was the case. But I really want to stress this, right? People are allowed to make videos. I'm not the internet police, and you can do incredibly stupid things on videos. You can do your own stunts without any formal education around that or any training whatsoever. You can hold a knife like an ice pick and cut your veggies that way in a cooking video. It's like, if you lose your fingers, that's on you, right? But and if anyone else does a video, I don't think the video creator is responsible. There is, however, a caveat to this. If you present something like a fact, right? As in you say, do exactly like this, and then you present something that is possibly hazardous or dangerous, you might not know that. But if someone has any empirical evidence as to how this is dangerous, right, then you should probably do something about it. But it's, again, this is all really finicky, right? Because how we use tools is quite varied, right? How we do things and how we use tools. I feel like there's a lot of content out there showing you how to do things, and these things could be dangerous. I mean, like, I see a lot of people doing like welding and stuff on videos, and if you just go out and get yourself a bunch of whatever you need for welding, and you don't do any, educate yourself, in a proper way, not from watching YouTube videos, right? I feel like it's on you if you set fire to your own hair, right? Really, really is, right? Because some things are just outright dangerous and they're not for everyone. I really like watching blacksmith videos, right? But there is no way I'm gonna set up my own forge. I looked at how you can do it. I was really intrigued by how you can do it. You could just inverse like the output of a vacuum cleaner, right? To push enough oxygen in there to get up to really high temperatures. Like you can use a vacuum cleaner to get a fire up to like 1500 degrees Celsius or whatever, right? Does that seem like a good idea? No, you are definitely gonna use common sense, right? Many woodworkers use gloves with rotational machines. Yeah, and I know, and you know that if you get your glove caught in the blade, the glove's gonna take your hand with you, and you can't feel the glove. Right, which is why you don't do that. There's one Japanese guy who wears gloves, and he had to put this. This is actually a pet peeve of mine. he has to put a disclaimer on his video that he's got dermatitis and that's why he has to wear gloves, because so many internet nannies has been on this guy about how dangerous these things are, right? But why do we have the need to do this, right? I don't think anyone has ever appreciated someone else correcting their behavior uninvited. That is literally what we do with children, okay? So we correct children's behavior so they don't wear gloves or they don't have their hair up when they use anything that rotates. Anything from a blender, a mixer, to a radial saw, whatever it is, right? If you got long hair and you let it hang, right? This is what behavior we correct in children. But in grown-ups, I don't think anyone appreciates that, right? I certainly wouldn't, right? I certainly wouldn't appreciate a stranger telling me how to do something. That's not appreciated, right? What's wrong with rotating children? Well, they're really hard. They're really hard to get them to go to school, all right? Hello to you too. The doctors knows what they're doing. Oh yeah, I'm missing the thing. Sorry, Mixie. If that was the case, Johnny Knoxville would have been sued to hell and back. Oh yeah. Oh man, he inspired a whole generation to do dumbass things, right? He watched a video in front of me of how to work out how to treat me. You know what, Minxie? I went to an NHS doctor with my ex, and she explained the situation. She explained her symptoms, and the doctor said to her, have you tried Googling it? That was her actual response. And I just sat there going like, oh my God, really? Okay. Yeah. All right. That was the NHS up in Borehamwood. I'm just saying that if you're in Borehamwood, don't go to the NHS. Don't go to the GP there. Okay. They're terrible. Right. Oh, hang on. A letter. Oh, warranty. What? Am I getting an accidental delivery that I forgot about? Oh man, I ordered a clamp and they didn't have it, and I completely forgot about it. And then someone else is using my email, which is really annoying. Or rather, they're giving people my email, so I'm getting a lot of stuff from some strangers in another country, right? I remember when I lived in one place, I had to call a person in another country and tell them, said, listen, your t-shirts have arrived. And then she's like, what? Yeah, you've used my email, right? And now I got like an order confirmation that your t-shirts have been sent. And she was very cute about it, but it just annoys me that someone else has taken it upon themselves to use my email. So there's obviously a typo in there somewhere, right? But it's really silly, right? I have a vague memory, Armadon. A vague memory. How you doing? Woodworking YouTube channel that says woodworking classes. So I still don't think correcting someone's behavior online is the right thing to do. Because like I go to the gym, right? I went to the gym the other day, right? And there's this dude there. He's maybe 65, 70, and he's sitting there with like this shoulder pull down machine. And I go there the next day, and he's sitting with the same machine again, right? And I was like, how's it going, right? Obviously, you shouldn't do the same workout 2 days in a row. Every noob knows this, right? But he did it anyway, right? But far be it for me to go up and tell him, says, well, listen, actually, sir, you're doing it wrong. However, if you are selling classes, right? If you're selling woodworking classes, then you should probably update your classes or fix that if you're doing something dangerous. That I wholeheartedly agree with, right? You gotta have wide shoulders. Well, I mean, I got a very slender body, right? I'm a slender man. Okay, I don't know what that is, but anyway, I'm all good. All right, duty calls. Are you coming to bed? Ah, yes, that right. But as a content creator, I love saying that word because content creator is not a job that someone my age has. But as a content creator, I so can see that, right? But anywho, we're gonna do a little bit of programming here, right? So we should do a little bit of that, shall we? Yeah, somewhere around there. You have to add a couple of years to that, Innocent. Oh yeah, sorry. I'm an influencer. That's the word now. I've signed a contract. I've accepted my bribe. I am now an influencer according to this contract. But influencer slash content creator, potato, rotten tomato. Who cares? 25 and a half. Yeah, what's that at one point? So okay. Enjoy lurkings, by the way, CP. Well, so what are we gonna do here? We have this thing, but I think we have a bug to fix first, right? Trying to influence me to let people get. Oh no! Listen, if someone cuts their fingers off because of like incompetence, that's on them. That's not on you, Crispy. Right? Like, imagine if we were responsible for all other humans in the world. How much work would that be, right? But this is what we have to do this with kids, right? Like, you definitely have to correct children's behavior because that's how they learn not to be D-bags, right? Which is why, like, famous kid actors and stuff, like, they don't have that corrective behavior. That's why they're so messed up, right? And then people go like, oh, this young person is a complete douchebag. They do all this like horrible stuff, but that's because they're surrounded by people who just agrees with them and laughs at everything that's dumb that they do. They never get their behavior corrected, right? So really, it's just how we are, right? This is why school is important. Like, you send your kid to school not just to learn, but to learn how to not be a dick, right? School is very important for that, right? Looking up component data for the component works, however, it's an O and lookup. Okay, well, what am I going to do with that information, Skylar? What do you want me to do with that? Okay, so what should we fix? What bugs do we have? I was in the middle of working out a bug, so let's go back to that. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so we're adding the viewport to components. That's good. We want that. That's the... Oh, we're going to get tests working. All right, so we're adding viewports and tests aren't going to work because of this. That's a really good test. We should probably skip that. Adding the viewport. Did I tell you guys that you can watch the Borderlands movie on YouTube and how you shouldn't because it's really bad? Okay, I don't know if that's... like, I don't even know who put it there, right? But, you know, it's there. Cargo test all. There we go. All right, so we have position widget. So let's go into default widget and let's go into testing, and we're gonna find out where we're missing something. 153. There we go. So this thing needs to have the viewport as well. Where does the viewport come from? Self.viewport. All right, anything else? Cargo T. I can do with some cargo T. This one is empty now. Viewport is missing from testing 131. Self.viewport. My wife doesn't like surprises, and that hurts me because I like making surprises. Like that's my thing. It's my jam to surprise people, but she doesn't want it anymore. She's like, no, I don't like to be surprised. I'm like, what do I do now? What am I gonna do with all this surprise energy I have? Right? And it's like it's sort of it makes no sense. It makes no sense to people who like the games. It makes no sense to people who never heard of the games. Like the movie makes no sense. It's just they just destroy the characters, right? Surprises are lame, but I don't think they are. I think surprises are really nice. That's like like you get older and you're not supposed to enjoy Christmas and birthdays anymore. You're supposed to be jaded because you're getting old and terrible. But I don't think that's like. Remember when you were a child and you got like a birthday gift you really wanted or something like that? Right? I love like my kid's birthday because I spend a lot of time thinking about things to do. I like my wife's birthday too, but she doesn't want any of the surprise stuff, right? And I have so much surprise energy to spend, right? Surprise yourself, set something up to happen in a year's time, by which point you've probably forgotten about it. I've forgotten. I ordered myself a clamp, and I've forgotten about that. I also found a really beautiful wall to replace this with, but I have like this whole thing of things I want to build and put in here. T-tracks in the ceiling, a new wall, and a light. But I have to wait until there's like, these are things I'm going to reward myself with when I've finished certain tasks in life, right? Once London threw me a surprise party. I do you one better. We were at a pub in the UK, and for my wife's birthday, and without her knowing, I had flown in a bunch of her friends and her sister and put them in the pub to just sit there, sort of with the backs facing us and in the next table. And I just went and sat down next to these people at a table with my wife and my parents-in-law. And we just sat there for a while. And I just sat there looking at her, nursing my drink, waiting for her to react. And she looked over and she saw her sister. It's like, and that reaction was so priceless, that she saw her sister, who was not a British person. She does not live in London. I think that's quite common. There's a lot of people who don't know how to react to being given something, right? But when you've been married to someone for what feels like a lifetime plus one, there's no need to fake any kind of emotions, right? You know people so well by living with them, right? You're around these people all the time. You're very hopefully you pick up on the feelings and all these things. Right? There's no need for my wife to fake being surprised. She can just be as deadpan as she wants to, right? I know whether she likes it or not, either way. Right? That could have happened. Yeah, I mean, it's about, but that is the key point, Skylar. It's about doing what the person wants, not what you want. So I want to do lots of surprises and invest a lot of energy into these things for my wife. She does not want me to. So when I get her a gift, I have to do everything. It goes against everything that I want to do, right? I have to be open about it, no surprises, no nothing. I have to talk to her about it, and it's like, oh my god, right? Where's the surprise joy in this thing, right? But there you go, right? It would have been quite funny, Temporis. Never enjoyed gifts. Always something I didn't need because if I need it, I already got it, made it. Yeah, so that I was in that situation myself, right? At one point in my life, I was earning a decent amount of money, and I basically just bought everything that I ever wanted. And I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so I gave money and things to my parents instead of the other way around. And I always bought whatever I wanted when I wanted it, right? So there was never really anything cool, but. Still, we were what were we doing? We're going on a trip through a bunch of countries, and my wife surprised me by making a pit stop at an old friend's house, and I thought that was really nice. And that's something you can't buy. So for me, it's very easy. And I said this to my wife as well. Right? It's very, very easy to buy me anything as a present, right? Anything that's to do with cameras, lights, streaming, tripods, stands, fishing, anything, climbing, woodworking. You could literally just walk into a hardware store and buy an angle bracket, and I'd be like, yes, how exciting, right? But she's not the same though. She will tell me throughout the year if she wants things, but this is another thing about getting people gifts, right? Getting someone a gift is about having paid attention to that person throughout the year, right? So you know when someone has, maybe you have that friend who's been talking about getting into running, and they talk about getting into running, and they've been doing this now for a couple of months. They've been talking about it, and eventually the birthday comes up and you buy them a really large cake because there's no way they're going to get into running if they keep talking about it but never do it, right? But yeah, anyway. A tractor or a festool. What about a Craig jig, Crispy? That's not too expensive. Would you be happy with a Craig jig? I have the other problem. I have a job with some disposable income, so I tend to get what I want when I want it. So when it comes around to gift time, alcohol, chocolate. Yeah, but that's the problem, right? That's the problem. When it is our birthday and we have that financial situation. We're not rich, but we have enough never to need anything, right? Buy a friend an energy bar for running with? Definitely. That's exactly it. No, but you think about what your friend has said throughout the year, right? You love Craig jigs. You love those like crooked screws in. You're just being a contrarian now, Crispy. I'm getting you a Craig jig for your birthday, right? And I'll install some angles on your goats. It's gonna look boss, man. For those of you who don't know what a Craig jig is, they allow you to do pocket screws. So you basically attach this thing. So you're joining two pieces together by screwing it in at an angle. And it's a little bit shit, to be honest, right? It's a little bit shit way of joining things, but it works. It works. If you don't have a biscuit joiner, then why not? So woodworking when? Never, because I need all 5 fingers, but I do have to install the saw blade. Okay, so we're supposed to get the tests working. They're working, yes. Are they passing? Also, yes. So there is no tests for the position, so we're gonna do that then, right? What should we do? We can get it from the border, right? Let's just grab all of this. That means we have to get the test runner in. All right, good. Then we're gonna do top left. So what do we get here? We're gonna have a position. And we're just gonna say top 0 and left 0. Now these are the default positions. So this is a bit strange. So, very dramatic music here, isn't it? We can just get rid of this, can we? Right, so it's going to position it outside of there. Okay, so we have to think about this for a wee bit. All right, so I think I'm going to go with 2 here just because, right? Like that. Okay. Bacon cob. Why, are you going into the office? So we do top, and if we say top 2, this should position this thing in the center. All right, so we can have 1, 2 there, and 2 there, and then we should probably get rid of that. No, wait, that would be. That's not at all how it works. But these are too large, okay? So we're gonna take a few of these away. We do this with it. That is not what I wanted to do. We'll shrink it down a little bit. All right, so now we have a size of, what do we have? 4x6, right? Oh. Really? Oh no, I have to measure the inside. It's 2x4. Sorry, it's 4x2. It's not a piece of wood. There we go, right? Okay, well that was exciting. I hope you're as excited as I was about that. All right, let's get this done. Hello, Londo. How you doing, buddy? How's it going? Oh man, a bacon egg and bacon bap, so good, so dangerously good, so simple. A bit of red, a bit of brown. Oh man, so good. You know what I had for breakfast? Toast. 3 pieces of toast. All right. Do you think you can get more boring? Probably not. All right, so let's do high here. I guess we have to set the left one to 1 for this to work then. All right, that's fine. We're gonna continue. Top right now. So this should put it here. No. Although that doesn't quite work then. We have like an offset issue in that case. If this works, then yeah, it doesn't work. Okay. So this is definitely bananas. All right? If it's 0, then it's in the wall. If it's 1, then it's 1 out. How does that work? 2 pieces of eggy bread. So eggy bread, you mean like you drench the slices in egg, and then you fry it. My typing hasn't got louder, but I have the microphone in a slightly different position. I no longer position it between the keyboard because I want to keep my keyboard a little bit close together. We can try this. See if there's any impact on the typing. Does this make the typing less loud? Gypsy toast. What's the NVIDIA broadcast? Okay. Yeah, no, I'm wondering if it is less loud now that I moved it. But okay, so we have a bug here, right? So we can continue writing the test though, even though they're broken. So now we're just gonna have a write one. So this should position it here. And I doubt it will. Yeah. So it's we're off with something, right? Try now. Yeah, it's on. I've moved my microphone now. So the microphone was here before, like this. And the keyboard is, maybe it just travels through the mouse, the table, the vibrations travels through the table, right? It's all good, London. It's all good. Top right, right, and then we do bottom right, and then we do bottom 0 right. Let's say, should this thing actually place it? I think it should place it here. Because we have minus, right? We can use minus values to get things outside of their containers. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna change the expectations here, right? So that's gonna be 0. That's gonna be 1. So top 1, left 1 is what we should be looking at here, right? And then here, this should be top 2. Left 0, so we can just do away with that. That's gonna move it down. Well, actually, that's top 1 then. Oh, you got some news, Londo. What's the coup? What's happening? Are you being put on the spot now? So if we do top 1, right 0. Oh yes, the Rust jobby. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for you about that. That's very cool. I wonder, is this like part of your current jobby, or is this like a side gig? So this is bottom right. It's okay. And then if we have a bottom, oh man, that's super cool. I love it, mate. Love it. A side gig, nice. Like, is this like a hush hush thing, or is your employer cool with this? All right, so now I think I've produced what I want this to be. Welcome, Coolage, for welcome raiders. Thank you for the raid. So we've set this up now. All of these tests should now fail, violently fail, but we're getting there, right? I guess technically this should also work, right? Yeah, so this should make it appear here, but I'm okay with a 1 on there. Let me know if the music is too loud. I'm sorry, I don't have any. I don't have any. I'll take it down a little bit. Like playlist or anything like that I can share. I literally just play random things, right? Nah, that's all good. You know, I appreciate your honesty, Coolage, because I think that in various programming communities, we should definitely be allowed to dislike programming languages and not have to defend our position, right? If you don't like Rust, I support you not liking Rust, right? Because it's a little bit like saying if you don't like pistachio ice cream, you're wrong, right? No, it's a matter of taste, right? So I support you saying horrible things about Rust. I mean, it's just C with training wheels, okay? Let's be honest now. That makes sense, Londo. That's what you're right, they're wrong. All right, have a good sleep. Thank you for the raid. You don't like Go, you're wrong. I've written Go for about 5 minutes in my entire life. I have like no skill when it comes to Go. I've got a massive skill issue. What, your car? Yeah, you should use your car. All right, okay, so we're gonna offset this by 1, and let's see if we can make this work, right? I'm a little bit worried before I do this that it's going to be wrong. Over, throw away, okay, if you say so. Default widgets, that's what we're working on now, so we can get rid of that one too. Okay, so let's go in here and let's find the template. Let's split this terminal in half, find the demo and call run. So we're gonna run, whoops, oops, I did that again, right? Not to worry, where is? There we go, right? Took me a week and a half, but here we are, right? So cargo run, and we are going to go and edit the index code for this thing. So first, we're going to take all of this out, and then we're going to slap a border here, and then we're going to have position here, and then we're going to have text here that says text. Very imaginative stuff, right? Okay, so we've lost everything. There we go. There's a text. Let's put a vertical stack in here, and then we're going to put a position in here, right? And some text here. Okay, so now that draws in the top left corner. I want to make this a little bit larger, okay? So let's have a width of 10, right? And let's have a height of 3. Actually, it's already 3. Let's have a height of 6, right? Double the height. Okay. So now we're looking at a position of top 0, left 0, but that's not what the test will reflect, though. If I say 0, 0 here, I think this will not be high. Oops. No, it does something that can only be considered bananas, right? Let's prefix all this with position, just so I don't have to fix all the test things, right? Okay, right. So now we should not have multiple tests running here, right? We have just one. Okay, so this is printing high in the wrong place. But before we go and fix this thing, we're gonna figure out what it is that we're actually drawing. So this is like a fake terminal, right? This is a fake backend. So let's have a look at what the test runner does. It's gonna chuck a border in there and gonna expand that, and it's gonna drop the main component in there. So we have an expand inside of there. So I don't know if this is a result of having the expand or not in there. So let's go and add that to our border here. So we're going to have an expand here, and then we're just going to have the position in there. And that seemed to do the same thing, right? So we have border, expand, and then the main component, right? So we have border, expand, and then we're going to have the position here. So this is weird because this is what we're doing, right? Okay. It can't have anything to do with the border style. That would have been bananas, right? That was my question to Minxie, right? I was a little bit concerned about that one too. I'm glad it's not just me. So border and expand, and we do nothing. We add a component to this thing, but surely the component cannot have that impact, right? It's just position, top, left, 0, and then, well, you know what? Now I'm really confused. Now I am really confused. Let's replicate this entirely, right? So we're gonna have 4, but we have to add 2 for the border size, right? And then here, I think we had like 2 here, right? And then the text was high, and it just works, right? What a nanas thing, right? Oh, but if we take away the expand, it doesn't work. So is this a result of border positioning, maybe? Oh, then I'm really confused. Oh yeah, you got a new car at some point. What happened with that? Oh man. Is this because it is a border? If we change this thing to a position? No, sorry, a container. No, there is nothing. There's no difference, right? Nah, that makes sense though, right? Hello, Excel. How you doing? That kind of makes sense. I feel like we need like a practical by the lamp. What do you guys think? Should we try to chuck one in there? Okay. I don't really have a practical, but we can put a little bit orange in there. I think that will look good. Let's try. Ooh, not loving that shadow, am I? Can we get rid of the shadow? Oh, not really. All right. Maybe I can live with that. So the shadow is a little bit too harsh for that. All right, but you know what we can do? One thing. Nah, that doesn't kill the shadow, but it makes it a little bit softer. No, it doesn't. Swift UI and Rust, yeah, kind of collage. So this is for building terminal user interfaces. So you can basically build and modify your interface while the application is running. So, and it has like a whole thing, right? We can have vertical stacks in here if we want to. Right, there's lots of things you can do with this stuff, right? What happened to the music? Did the music just get super low? Maybe I just need to crank it up in my headphones there a little bit. There we go, right? It's not a shadow, it's texture. It's a very strong shadow because obviously we have the practical that isn't the practical very close to it, and it's yeah, it's complicated. Yeah, totes, but it is all in Rust. Although you can, so you write your backend in Rust and then you describe user interfaces in AML, which is anathema markup language. So yeah, Okay, but there is clearly a bug in here. Sounds good, Minxie. Enjoy choring. We could get rid of the shadow if we move the light. Okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about it. Okay, no one cares about the shadow but me, I'd imagine. I'm the only one that cares about it. Okay, so what did I do that had an impact on this thing? Oh, I think I know why this is. It's because with the border, we don't actually position things. But then why would this work if we put a container here? It fixes it, right? Well, no. It didn't fix this at all. But it kind of does. That's no, I don't get it. It's because the position is relative. This has to do with border positioning inside the border and relative positioning. So, this is a bit awkward. Because the border will give you a context where the position is done inside the border. Whereas the position widget doesn't care about the border widget. It doesn't care about the inner size of the border. So technically the border has to come with a modifier, but I don't know if I want that. This should not be up there. There we go. Ooh, shoulder. Crikey. That's my answer. So what do we do then, right? So the border. If we look at the border code for this thing, right? Let's go to border. It's surprising that it kind of works, even though it shouldn't work. We shouldn't even have to have the expand widget in there. That in itself is a bit weird, right? But if we look at the position here, so we're affecting the context position here, but this is not relevant when we are dealing with the floating widgets. So we will never get floating widgets here. Good morning, Scott. How you doing? So to make things even worse, let's add some padding here, right? Let's add some padding of 10. All right. Okay, it was a bit too much. 3. There we go. And then if we change this thing to have a placement that is absolute, that one just goes exactly where it's supposed to go, right? If we do bottom 0, there's a 0 in here somewhere. That's correct. If we change this to right, it'll be in the bottom right corner. That's also correct. But if we change this to relative, which is the default, it is now in the correct position for the bottom right. But top, left, oh, it's because of the stupid container. Right. So bottom right should place it there, yeah. So this will draw on the border. I wonder if we should just make this a known issue, or if I should try to fix it. So why would you ever want to do this? Because of this. Imagine that you want to do something like this. Right? Right? So now it looks a little bit more fun, right? So we basically have a title to our border for building these things, right? And I'm wondering if I should just note this down, that you need to, if you do not want the position there, then you have to place it inside another element. But that actually makes this a little bit awkward, because most likely you're going to have some content inside the border, right? Like so. Well, that was rather unexpected. There we go. Then we have to add negative offsets. But the floating widgets are positioned after. Not, they're positioned at a different step, right? They're not positioned when the other stuff is positioned. So what do we do with this thing then? I definitely think we should chuck a 1 in there, right? Make it a little bit nicer. Oh, bother. Oh, really? There we go. Can we use alignment inside here? Can we do alignment? Actually, no, we wouldn't have to do alignment. We could just do top -1 here, right? And then we could do an H stack here with a spacer here and a spacer there, and we get in the center. Oh yeah, so it is. Oh, bother. I was like, Winnie the Pooh? What? Oh, yeah. Oh, bother. If we look at how placement is done, let's go over here to widgets, position, layout, position widgets. I'm going to call position here. We have no parent widget attributes to pull from here. Do we accept this as a bug or not? I don't think we can. Let's have a look at the runtime. So the runtime will be in charge of doing this when it comes to floating widgets. Somewhere we're gonna update. We're gonna do everything here. So here's layout, position, and paint, and we're doing layout, position, and paint for floating widgets here. So floating widgets are a little bit different. Although they surely have a parent, yeah. And then we do get position for that. Maybe we simply could override get position for the border. So we have like a get inner position for the border. That could work. So we're not actually asking for the... We could get a rectangle for the widget. So we get like a bounding box instead, which is a coordinate and a size. I think a rectangle is a coordinate and size. Let's get rect. No rect there. Okay, let's just do geometry. There we go. We have a region, which is a from and to. We don't have an actual rect, do we? No, we could create a rectangle that we operate on. Okay, so then our get position, it gets the container position, which the container position is created when we do this. So this would mean that we actually have to find a different... We have to have an inner and an outer value here. This is quite a big change. And I'm not like super chuffed about this. Am I talking too far away from the microphone? Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Who knows, right? Who knows? So we could get an actual inner position here. Oh man, my neck! I need to go. I need to get one of those like cushions. It's a hot thingy full of rice or whatever they're full of, right? So this calls container position from the element, and we're gonna set the position here. And then we create the position context. And we're passing ownership of that.
I can pontificate.
Welcome back, Mix. Is the music all right or not? It's really hard for me to say. I feel like we're on the cusp of being loud here. Right, just take it down a smidge. Okay, what do we do? Ooh, tea would be good. Strawberry yogurt and banana is looking favorite. No, strawberry. I had strawberry. Strawberry and I had banana and strawberry weight gainer for breakfast, and they taste like an insane amount of sugar. I don't know why they do this. Why do you automatically just pepper this stuff with so much artificial flavor? I know it tastes bad, but now it's just a bad taste with too much sweet taste to it, right? I had bought this pan for making scrambled eggs and porridge, but it was like a decent looking pan. It wasn't super cheap either, but now the coating started to come off already, and that's so disappointing, right? I want to have like a good non-stick pan. Hello, Dottie. Banana and strawberry yogurt would be pretty good. You know what I like? I like cherry yogurt. Right? That's pretty good. Hello, Priven. Are you okay? You having a stroke? Are you in Haskell again? In Haskell hell? Yeah, near the saucepan. That seems like I think that seems like a very simple task. Fetch a URL, export some data, and then add to CSV. Assuming that you're doing this with like JSON or something. Hello, T3 Duck. I thought, nice, I can write this in Rust because it's a one-time thing, but I was forced to do it in Go. Aw, sorry to hear that. Okay, so do we make a change here? All this just for the border widget. So we're changing the entire API just for the border. Thank you for the follow, Teduk. I'm having meatballs for lunch. I made meatballs with Ashvar. I think I don't know how to pronounce it, right? Wherever you're from, you can probably pronounce ashvar better than me. But ashvar is like grilled pepper paste. And hot dang, that was good. So meatballs in tomato sauce with ashvar. And oh, damn, that was good. So I'm having that for lunch. No. Don't worry about it, Toddy. No. There's no need to apologize. My comment was just saying to you guys that I'm gonna miss things. That's all I'm saying. So if people expect me to know the conversations, they should unexpect that, right? Because the conversations are many, and I love that you guys have the conversation, right? I mean, it's really encouraging for me to see that it's happening, right? Yeah, no, that's all. Okay. If we make this change, we change the entire API for one element only. I have no expectations. Should we go and put the kettle on? All right. Should we put the kettle on and put the heaty, cushy thing in the microwave? And maybe then the answer will come to me. Yes, kettle time. Okay. If you have been procrastinating today or this week, or a task that only takes about 3 minutes to do, I would encourage you to go and do that task now. We'll take a little break for a couple of minutes while I make some tea and throw a pillow in the microwave. All right, 3 minutes. 3 minutes of waiting. What should we do for the next 3 minutes, okay? Anyone have any ideas? Apparently I'm having game night with Danaka. I'll try. Was space game good? It's on sale now, finally. There we go. Okay, so the question is, I don't think I want to make this change. It could be useful to have an inner region, but it does kind of feel a little bit bananas to change the entire API for this. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark. All right, Bonnie, let's fix this. Do we just leave it for now? Maybe we just leave it for now. But it is still wrong according to the test. According to the position test. This thing should be right, but it's putting it there. Which is odd because this guy is supposed to do that. What if we just put a container in there? Yeah, no, that did not work at all. Oh, we are using a constraint around that. Oh. Then what do we do? Okay, let's try and expand. We're going to create our own constraint here. Okay, we're going to have a container. We're going to have this as our constraint. Okay, container. There we go. All right. Thank you for the follow. That's right. That is doing exactly what we wanted to do, right? So now we're going to put an expand in here. That should have 0 impact on this. And it did. So we... Oh, tea's ready. All right. I got another confession to make. Hot pillow is hot. Ooh, that is way too hot. Okay. Let's get ourselves a warm shoulder. And we have some tea, which is also very hot. And we got some music, which is not very hot. All right, let's try this. Man, this music is really difficult to balance. Ducky. There we go. So we're going to skip this thing. We're just going to have that thing in there. Right. Okay. So a top 0 and a left 0 should put this thing there. But this is not what the test is doing. The test is being a silly. And I wonder how. Is it because we're adding this as a component? That seems really weird. It would be akin to doing a cursor here. I don't know, Nightprog. What are you doing? What are you up to? Hopefully something more exciting than this. I'm trying to fix my shoulder, which is being awkward and painful. Whew. All right. There we go. Hot pillow is hot. So even though we're following suit, we still get different results. This can only be described as a WTF moment. We've added padding. We can see the padding here. We've added a container that's fixing a constraint. We added a border, can be seen here. And then we expand the border and we add our component inside there. How is that different from this? We have our border, we have our expand, and we have our main in there. And this size here is going to be a constraint. We're adding 2 because we're accommodating for the border size. Where is this size used? Here it's used. Okay. This makes me a little bit nervous because this might imply that we have different different drawing passes. So it comes down to the actual backend being wrong. And if the test backend is wrong, well, poof, right? So then we have to see what the test backend actually does. Let's go to a use case for this thing. It's going to be position. So we're going to create an instance of this thing and then render assert. So what does this thing do? It's going to evaluate the blueprints, create the test instance. Then we're going to render assert, which is passing in an expected template. And then we're going to do layout, position, and paint. And then it's going to do floating widgets. All right. We have, let's do a side-by-side comparison then, right? Actually, let's open this in here. Runtime. All right. Here we go. We got ourselves a layout context. Sure. We get an element. Okay. We're supposed to be looking at not the floating widgets here. We're supposed to be looking at these widgets first, right? Right. So layout context, new session. Yeah. Attribute storage, viewport, everything's tickety-boo. Layout widgets, constraints, layout context, true, all is good. Positioning, same thing there. Heat makes everything worse. All right, and then finally we paint. I don't see anything different. We're making a new string session for this thing. I don't know why. Oh, the layout context can be made outside of here. That's because we have the same context for that. Okay, we don't need to deal with that now. So floating widgets then, right? I'm going to go through all of floating widgets. Okay, well, this is different. Find the parent widget and get the position. If no parent element is found, assume position 0. Okay. Well, I don't see any of that happening. This one starts off with position 0. Is that it? But it can't be. Oh, man. Music, sort yourself out, right? I'm not loving this music. Okay. So we have a different position there. Okay, let's make this change in here, right? Let's see if we change this to position 0. Are we gonna get a different outcome here now? Is it gonna position this thing up here now? For that, we have to restart. Well, that's just bananas. No, it isn't. It isn't bananas. We are observing an absolute positioning. So this is what we should be doing. So how does it work here then? Oh, I know why this works here. Holy. Okay. Wow. Just wow. Okay. We have to do this. We have to run this code up here as well. We're just saying position 0, but that ain't right, is it? Okay. Self-constraints is not a thing. So where does constraints come from? We don't know. We need to have constraints associated with this at some point. Yeah, we have constraints here, right? Well, there they are, right? So let's go down to where we have this. I think this is going to fix this now. Okay, let's full screen this thing. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's just read the error message, shall we? Delicious. Nope, I did not mean to do that. Parent is equal to... Oh, do we keep the parent separate? Yeah, we have the parent declared before we do all this. Okay, Floaty boy, where are you? There you are. All right, so the parent is still inside the for loop. So let mute parent equals tree.pathref widget id dot parent. Almost. Hello, Dante. Say how you doing? How's tricks? What are you up to? All right, so self.tree. Okay, we can probably just get away by importing this then. All right, should we try this out now? That could be nice though. Sometimes it's nice to do these things that don't require an awful lot of effort. Oh, yes. So this was the problem. Wow, that is kind of gross, isn't it? Oh, runtime. You fickle beast. Okay. Move that down a little. Yeah. What do we do? What do we do with this thing then? Okay, let's go to position and let's run this thing now. Okay, so according to this, position 00 is going to be in the top left corner. Now, is that what we see here? Ooh, what did I do to break this? I probably added 0 to the runtime. And I didn't restart it. That's probably what I did. Yeah. Okay, so 00 should be inside the border, yeah? At least that's what I think. Update dependencies, that could be something to do. So here, 00 is inside the border. What does the test say about 00? It is not inside the border. You know how it's not inside the border? In the way that it's not inside the border. Why is it not inside the border? All right, but then we should be able to do away with the cursor. It can't have anything to do with that. We have a container, we have a border expand. It's not a placement situation here. Okay, maybe what we should really do is look at the runtime in that case. Stop trying to use a swap file, you lark. So there's a lot of duplication that can happen in here. Can we just use the runtime instead and call the tick function? So there's a lot of things associated with the tick function, but I just wonder if we could use this instead. So how would they differ? So we have consistency instead of lunacy, which is what we want. Because this should pass. Top left should not draw up there, and it's definitely a runtime issue. Well, we can't have the runtime in here because of the dependency tree. So that wouldn't work. All right, let's look at what do we need to actually run these two blocks then of code. To do layout, position, and paint, what do we need? We need a layout filter. We need some attribute storage. And everything that, so we need constraints as well. All right. Okay, let's note this down then, right? Actually, let's move this thing. Come on. Thank you. All right, so what do we need? We need to have a layout filter. What else do we need? We need a string storage. We need attrib storage. We need a viewport. We need constraints. And we need a backend. Okay, I think that's all we need. Such music, man. I'm vibing here. Okay. Oh, I love these heat pillows things. They get rid of like a lot of stiffness and pain. Very good. Okay, so should we then create something for a layout? We could have the definition of a layout live somewhere, and then we just create a layout populated with these things, and then it will go ahead and do all the things that it needs for the layout to happen. The things that is a little bit rancid here is that we have Boolean flags and they're all these true things, which probably are just hacks speaking to floating widgets. I'm guessing, but it's an educated guess. Yeah. Because we need those two passes. Although, admittedly, this could be done in a singular layout. Okay, let's do it. It's going to make this thing look a lot nicer. So let mute layout equals. Layout it is then. Okay, so we need to have a layout filter. We need attribute storage for this. Attribute storage. What do we need? We need a tree. We'll probably pass the tree first. We can't really call this layout. This has to be a group name for layout, position, and paint. So we need to come up with something better for this thing. We have string storage for this thing. So this is supposed to create a new string session. So we can just call self.string storage.new session. Self.viewport. That can just be own viewport. It's not a problem. Widgets from there, from there, values from there, constraints. So we should probably pass in self.constraints there. Okay, I think that's all we need, yeah? Viewport there again, string storage. It needs a new session for the paint. Okay. Man, you had like this banger and then we're back to some boring music. I don't understand who made this, but okay. Okay, so we have to start deciding on a time for the jam, right? We have to come up with a schedule for this when we're gonna do the jam, and I'm hoping that we can do an actual official release of this to create IO before we kick off the jam. No, I think a weekend is probably enough to do things in. Let's go with a weekend. And I'll be doing my entry live on stream probably. So a weekend after the 8th of October, right? September. It's like 5 days from now. Let's try to go somewhere after the 8th, right? And the only weekend I'm away, where's my phone? It is September, yes. So the only weekend I can't do is like the 14th. I think that's a weekend. Okay, that is exactly what I wanted. All right, there we go. So I am away this weekend. So maybe the 21st of September then. Maybe we should aim for the 21st of September. That should work, hopefully. That's like enough time. Let's not put that in stone just yet, though, right? There's clearly teething issues that has to be resolved. I don't know what other, like, the biggest bug that we actually have now is the error messages. They are pointed to the wrong symbol, and I should probably rewrite it, but I don't think we should. I don't think I have a free weekend until mid-October. Wow, that is busy. I guess we'll yeah, we'll have to figure out. It depends on how. Don't worry about London, so does mine. But definitely it definitely improves over time though. I'm gonna start a new thread here. There we go. Lead typist, but I am a lead typist. Check it out, right? My lead typing skills without even looking. Yeah. Sorry. Hello, ICS. Yeah, once you don't have a mic in your face, it's a little bit easier to type on this thing. You can tell that I'm not quite there yet, right? Whoops. But yeah, okay, so I think we can make this widget cycle happen. So it's not going to be a layout. It's going to be something else, right? Widget cycle. I don't love the word cycle here. We're going to come up with a better word, but then we can reuse this. So let's go to widgets. Let's find layout. And this is where we do all this stuff. So let's make a new one here. All right, and let's see. What is it that we need for this thing now? We need to pass in the. Do we need to pass in the layout filter? Can we make the layout filter? No, we don't. We can make the layout filter there, right? This is really what we're after. Oh, hello. New session. Blissinator. Yeah, so what does the new session return? So we don't need this anymore. We can just beady bang. on that thing. What do you return? You return a string session. Okay, cool beans. Now, for the astute reader, we can obviously not have this. We have to put some... yeah, people keep commenting on this thing, but I have like no idea what it sounds like. I just moved the microphone to the left, but apparently that has enough impact to affect the sound. What if we do this and then we lower this thing just a little bit? All right, it is just so it doesn't fall over, right? If I accidentally knock this thing, it's gonna fall over. We're out of water already. Rubbish. All right, so what lifetimes do we need for the widget tree? Let's get that in there. That's already there. That's already there. That's already there. That's already there. Hello, VLUX. All right, so then we need to get... We're gonna call this thing runtime for the first lifetime. This is what we borrow everything mutably for. Then the widget tree is going to have the blueprint lifetime. And string session has the buff runtime. It can probably be runtime as well. Ooh, maybe not. Let's import the runtime blueprint widgets cycle. Brain. Fail. Okay. Well, now this is fine. We're gonna delete everything from there to the comma. Oh, I guess we can just do that then. Snap. Oh, you want one? Okay, well, it's the same as the tree. Okay. Where do the constraints come from? There we go. No run method. Now that's okay. But you can generate this for me, please. Don't return anything, please. And then we're gonna do all of this inside that run function. And then we're going to do the floating widgets too. But then we have to change this to operate on self attribute storage. Oh, you cucumber. Let's fix this. Okay, we don't want string storage. We want string session. So that's just going to be string session. It's not a function call. Oh shit. We have to have a new string session? Nah, that seems a bit rubbish. Although maybe it's not, right? Oh, we need a backend for this thing. Okay then. Let's chuck a backend at this as well. Yeah, this is the one. Here comes the generics. And we need a trait bound for this thing. Say backend, which we shall pants. We can't have the backend there. I did not see a video of the C devs. I saw the post by a C dev. No, I saw the post by a Rust dev saying that the C devs, which is in other words is all devs in the Linux kernel. There was some C dev who didn't want to make it easy to write things in Rust. There's always going to be friction because people... So we're very far away from this, right? I'm going to imagine that none of you are kernel developers. So we're very far away from all of this. And because we are, it's very black and white for us. But at the same time, I understand that people have feelings because they've been working on this thing for many years and they have no interest in Rust. So I think it's just friction because people aren't interested in it and they don't want the world to change. Yeah, but people say stupid shit all the time, right? That's just what people do. It's petty and ridiculous, but that's just people's take on things, right? You can't expect yourself to grow as a person if you have no interest in seeing what's new in the world. It's just how it is, right? So I think there's you got to understand that people, well, you don't have to understand anything if you don't want to, but there's value in understanding that there is friction because people don't want their world and their lives to change, right? People are very comfortable where they are and what they do. They've invested a lot of the time. A lot of people have invested a lot of their free time into this thing, right? So if you turn around and say, why should I have spent the last 10 years of my life contributing to the Linux kernel to have some new language that I have no interest in becoming a first-class citizen here? Why are we doing this? Why didn't we do this with C++? Why aren't we adding SIG to this thing, right? Why isn't D or NIM an option, right? That's that. I can understand the perspective. I don't agree with it. And I think it's petty and ridiculous to refer to it as a religion, right? You can do that as a joke, but when you're doing it out of spite, then I think you're being silly about it, right? But of course, I don't know. I have no investment in this thing. I haven't seen it. I haven't followed it. I saw the post on Reddit and I read a little bit on it and I thought, okay, people are people. But yeah, it is what it is. There is a feeling of having your favorite something rather being attacked when people want to introduce new things. Okay, this happens at corporate levels as well, right? You have a couple of developers who are really like they're good friends or whatever, and they're working. They have a good dynamic, and then all of a sudden one day the boss has hired in 2 new developers who are supposed to be as good as you are, and they throw them into the IT department with you, and they have different ways of doing things, but you're set in your ways. It's gonna be friction, right? Because you're adding people, you're adding change. It will be friction. That's how it is. Well, the money has to go to some places. It's not just about paying developers. You have events, and you have some developers are paid. Security audits. I mean, there's a lot of things that cost money, right? But and some developers probably don't work for free on the Linux kernel, right? There probably are people who are getting paid to find bugs, fix bugs, do whatever, right? It's how it is. But that doesn't mean that I condone it and think it's a good idea. It's just saying that this is how people are, right? People don't want change. Okay, it's been someone's home for a long time, and all of a sudden they have to share it with someone they don't like, right? And there's a chance they will act out. But being caustic towards it, that's not the way, right? You're not gonna get anyone to understand or agree with you by being prickly and saying things that doesn't make sense, being insulting and offensive. That's not gonna win you anything. You're just gonna look like a D-bag, and other people are gonna think that you are a D-bag, except the people who are strongly agreeing with you, but from the outside, it's not gonna look good. And you get the argument, well, I've been doing this for many years. Congratulations, you're old. Okay. So this is becoming a bit of a predicament because we don't have access to the backend here. And we do need said backend. Where do we need to make use of this here backend? By calling the paint function here. Is that the only thing we need? Of course, we could inject a function here. Yeah, so this is the thing that I find when people become zealous of a language. So this is not entirely innocent though, right? Because we know that the early days of Rust, people were very adamant about other people trying Rust because it was such an amazing experience, right? I get it. You find something really exciting. And like say PB2 or I don't know, whatever it is that you discover that's really exciting, CrossFit, whatever, right? And you're really excited to tell other people about it. So other people who don't want to try or adopt it, they will make fun of you and say that it's a religion, right? Or whatever it is. And it's a stigma that the Rust community has garnered. And it doesn't help that the Rust Foundation has done silly things as well, right? Oh god, yes. No, I totally get that, Temporis. I was memeing in his channel once, and that kind of escalated a little bit. So I basically realized that you can't, because other people either take it too seriously or they'll join in thinking you're serious, and that's even worse, right? So that was an educational moment for me. To not wreck his stream with my jokes that I thought was like lighthearted and funny, and people didn't think they were all jokes, right? No, but the thing is, so my argument against CrossFit is that I am too scared to destroy my joints. Every CrossFit, whatever thing I've seen, looks like really terrible form. But do I do CrossFit? No. Have I tried CrossFit? No. And I think that just means that my opinion on CrossFit is entirely meaningless, right? And I think the same thing can be said for a lot of opinions on Rust when they haven't tried it themselves, right? But the community has been very aggressive at some point, and that's not the people I would qualify as real Rust developers, right? I have never seen Andrew Gallant or Nico or any of these people go around other people's social media and be like, do it in Rust, do Rust, do Rust. I have seen one person on Reddit who I think was being a little bit of a dildo because they said someone posted an article or post saying, I wrote this thing in Rust, I rewrote it in Go, it's faster in Go, right? And people would not let them have that, right? They posted that on a Rust Discord, but I thought the Rust community was better than that. They simply would not have it, right? It was just an onslaught of do this, do that, do this, and they're like, no, I've tried these things, it's faster in Go. They wouldn't let them have it. It was like, no, there has to be something wrong with your Rust code. That you must be doing something wrong. It's like, but what are you gonna do? Follow this person around for the rest of their life and help them with the Rust code if they don't have the interest in doing it in Rust? Why push it, right? It's really not that important that other people write Rust. No, but so I will say this in Grimm's defense, okay? He has been streaming for a long time, and he's writing C on stream, and people are sometimes very pushy, and it's easy to get jaded. And I have had periods in my streaming life where I have felt like anyone who tries to backseat me, I want to backseat them into the ocean, right? I have felt that myself. I totally understand that feeling, right? You are exposing yourself when you're streaming, and you kind of have to put up with things, but some days it just gets a bit much when people are doing the equivalent of, well, actually, right? And then you kind of think, you, man, nobody asked, right? I get it. I don't say you should be like that. I understand both sides of the conversation, right? If you ask me about C++, you're going to get some amazing answers, Apollo, right? I'll school you in C++ any day of the week. You just let me know what you want to know, and I just make up whatever. No, I just tell you the facts, right? Backseating is a huge problem on the platform. It's the thing is, you kind of have to put up with it. Unless you specifically have a tag, which he does, saying no backseating, right? I don't have that tag. I had it for a little bit, and I try to be more open about it, but I can feel the pain of being a streamer. I have observed on this platform plenty of people starting Rust and having their entire journey destroyed by backseaters in the chat. I saw this happen with Anthony Wright's Code. I chatted a little bit with him, and the long and short of it is this. The online Rust community in his chat was so adamant about constantly backseating, telling him what to do, that they ruined the experience, right? There wasn't a journey that he get to go on. It was a journey that he was being pushed along by other people. And I get it, right? No one wants to learn that way. Again, you're putting yourself out there. If you're streaming, people are going to clip what you say. People are going to make fun of what you do. It's just the way it is, right? I see both sides of this, right? As rude as the guy was at the conference, wait, I'm missing some context of this thing, right? But the thing is, if you don't want backseating, you can say so. There are tags for saying so, right? If you still get backseating, then you're just gonna have to yeet the people, right? Let me go up a little. Yeah, I get this. I totally get this. And I regret that one time I started like being a complete dick as a joke about Rust, and people did not understand that there was a joke. And it kind of spurred both sides to get involved. Can you explain the difference between usage of a field on a component versus state? I thought I understood it, but after testing, apparently not. It started trying to pass state args down to a component in the template file. between usage of a field on a component versus state. The component fields are not state values, right? So state is the information on the component that should be exposed to the template. Maybe you can give me a bit more context. Yeah, there was a lot of salads when Rust, but those weren't the Rust programmers that I talked to and respected. I never saw anyone other than that one guy who were acting like that. I never saw anyone else do that out of the actual Rust programmers in the community, right? As real as the guy was at so which conference? His complaint wasn't about Rust, but that he didn't want to have to meet some code contract that the Rust bindings would by default impose in the code base. It boiled down to you can work out the semantics and encode that in the Rust type system, but we can change that at any time if we deem it necessary, and that might invalidate all the semantics you're encoding. Which, if we said it nicer, it's a fair argument. Is there no backwards compatibility in this, then? I have the backseat nicer tag. It's a nice catch-all. That's not bad, Nando. The thing is, I used to backseat. I used to be super excited about Rust. If anyone was programming Rust, I'd be in the stream and I'd be like, hi, how's it going? And they do something. And do you know what streamers do? They will talk out loud and they will talk to themselves out loud and be like, how do I convert this into a sandwich, right? And I'll be on that like a rash. I'll be like, yeah, you can do this. You can implement the from trait. It's amazing. Do this thing. Your head will explode out and butterflies will come out of your nipples, right? But that's not necessarily what people want unless they say otherwise, right? So I don't backseat other streamers anymore because I think it's, if they ask, how do you do this? Or do you guys have an idea how to do this? Then yeah, it's fair game. But other than that, I don't do it. That doesn't mean that you guys have to stop. I'm just talking about this from my perspective, right? Because I know the pain. I know when I'm having a bad day, right? If I'm having a bad day, then having a constant barrage of people telling me what to do, which in your brain can very easily translate to you're wrong, okay? And when your brain does that translation, it just feels like you're getting an endless stream of criticism. And that's very different from backseating, right? This is entirely up to how you interpret information. But sometimes you don't have the brain capacity to not read that as criticism, right? It takes effort to stop and think about the onslaught of information sometimes, right? Clippers. Yeah. Want to access this in the component code? You can't. Adding the same feed in states, preventing it from being changed in template file. It is something that is up for debate whether we're gonna allow this or not, and how it's gonna be allowed. It is a means of passing in a read-only value into. So technically, what you could do, Doddy, you can read this if you assign this to an attribute. Then you can read the attribute. Now that makes sense. But when you streamed Anathema, London, I was watching your stream for I don't know how long. I didn't even say I was there because I didn't want to start throwing my weight around. Okay, so we have a situation here which has to do with oh man, this thing is not warm anymore. It's just hot, like lukewarm grains. We can't get the back end in there. Heavyweight champ. No, there's no part of what I just rambled on about that is saying that you guys need to change your behavior, right? Absolutely not. We're not there yet, Enrico. It's going to be bug fixing first before I get there. And I want to have something nice to do as well. So in this case, what we can do, and we can't. Oh, this is because we can't have the back end here. Yeah, I don't want the notion of self, this, or state in the template though. There is way too much assumptions packed into using things like this and self. No, but I'm not saying we should scrap your PR, Skylar. Absolutely not. But we have to come up with a means to dealing with this. And I wonder if we can prevent an enum from being a root state, then it might work. Bullshit allowed statement in the title. Yeah. So when I had for a period of my streaming, I had back pain, and the pain level dictated how much BS I was able to put up with on a stream. And the thing is, I don't want to become jaded, and I don't think I am. I think I am a lot more positive these days than I was when I had that title on there. So it's kind of all right. I think I'm less salty than I was. They're not attributes, but there's nothing preventing you from doing that, Doddy. There's nothing preventing you from passing an external state into the component and using that. Back pain sucks. It sure does. No, the thing is, back pain is a very wide spectrum of what it can be and why it is, right? The back pain I'm dealing with right now, where it was lower back pain, now it's shoulder pain and neck pain instead that I'm dealing with, which could probably be fixed by standing up for a little bit. So let's do that, right? Right, this can probably do away with some of that by changing our position a little bit. Strengthening back muscles won't do anything for you, the Crow, if the pain isn't muscular, right? That's but like I said, there's like a lot of reasons why you might have back pain, right? It can be ranging from bad posture to muscular to inflammations, and if you have inflammation, then how are you going to strengthen your back muscles, right? You're going to make them more inflamed. But yeah, it definitely depends a lot on the reason for your back pain, right? But the long and short of it was this: the more pain I had, the less inclined I was to put up with people trying to claw their way through the Ethernet cables and take control of my keyboard. And I think that's kind of what's happened to Grim as well, and he's become a bit jaded. You got to remember that he's been doing this for a lot longer than I have. I think he's been doing this for like 6 years or more, and if not longer, right? No, we're not going to have something called a root state. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, then you can take all the anti-inflammatory stuff that you want and wreck your stomach in the process, and you'll get no benefits, right? All right. The only thing is I have to be constant motion when I'm standing because I don't have the mat or the shoes on, so I have to constantly move my legs when I'm standing up, which looks like I constantly need to pee, which I do. Oh man, this music is putting me to sleep. Come on, give me something else. Okay, apparently not. Oh, hot damn, what a terrible interface. Where does this put us on the volume scale? Looks good. Dance monkey. Okay, so here's a problem. We have a backend. We just can't use it, right? Because we can't have the backend trait available to this thing. I guess maybe we could move some of these things into... Wait, why can't we have the backend trait here? That's why. That's why we can't have the backend, right? No, we can't solve it with a comment. There's always things we can do, Skylar, but they might not be very easy and simple to do, right? Which is why I'm not investing too hard in this issue right this second, because I have so many other pressing issues that needs to get done. I do like the idea of having... I don't care that much about the tuple structs, but the enums is a pretty cool idea. That's right. The video yesterday said we must not use comments, right? So we can't have the back end there. So what do we do then? We're so close. We're so close. All right. What if we took this out for a second? Are we good? Do you need to own the string session? Yes, you do. And that's probably not... Well, when a problem can't be solved from the... When the problem can't be solved from the position you're in, then you have to change your position, right? I mean, this whole problem might be solvable by going very far back into the code base and rewriting a large portion of it. We might have to change states entirely how they work to do this, right? But it is doable through some means, but it's just not a priority because it requires so much tinkering, right? So I don't think that we need to make it a priority for the time being, right? Okay. A string session is probably, yeah, it's just a pointer. EMS, electric meeting syndrome. So don't junk your code, Skylar. It's a very good effort, right? It's very good. We just can't do it the way it's done right now. Oh man, I had EMS several times today. I wonder if we could just pass a mutable reference to that in the layout context. Wait, we only have one string session? No, we're supposed to use it there as well. Okay, maybe we can do that. I'm not even reading the error messages. I can see Tempora's like, oh my god, not this again. Come on, man. What's the sixth argument then, you ghoul? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the back end. All right. Yeah, but we don't care about the back end now. Back end must go. Okay. E. Visually select to the comma. Okay. Thank you, Rain. Can reuse this thing. Ugh, the pain. All right. Oof. All right, there we go. So we got rid of that thing. Excellent. Excellent, eh? Cat Pat. How you doing, Cat Peasant? Okay. Right. What do we do with this thing? So we could pass a function where we can get access to these things, right? Well, I think that's very wise to do, Cat Peasant. That should definitely be a safe thing to do. And if the manager is not entirely a toilet brush, they should say, okay, what can we do to make it better? But they might get a bit scared, right? They might get a bit scared that you're gonna walk away. So give him a few moments, right? I gave away my treadmill. I think spending time on the treadmill doesn't do much for me. I don't think I don't have space's discipline to walk on it, right? I've already been training today though, right? And it was really good. It was really enjoyable for once. Could we do this with a closure? Right, so we pass in a closure here. Actually, that might not even have to be mutable. We do it as this, right? I'm gonna like filter out the word me in that sentence, I think. Don't worry about it, right? I think it's just gonna take them a second because maybe they're scared that you're gonna disappear and they value you a lot there, right? I can see that happening, right? And our ship is cat peasant leaving, right? Oh no, this cannot be an FM1. Oh no. All right, fine. All right, so we got the elements in there. All right, then we need to pass in some babies, which is a reference to some nodes. There we go. I understand you, but at least you tried, right? Yeah, we can talk about happy things if you want. You have food. I don't have food, but I'm looking forward to my meatballs. All right, I'm very excited about that. I still haven't like settled for a video idea. I really love the conversation we had yesterday. Everyone who was involved in that, it was super useful for me. Look at that type. Ooh. Probably widget values, right? No, that doesn't exist. Gen slab. That doesn't exist. Damn it. Yeah, so I still haven't settled for an idea, and every day I keep thinking like, what if I sit down and like start working on the video this morning instead of streaming? But then I think about all you guys, and I want to stream and do that. And streaming is my procrastination. Streaming and working on this code base is my procrastination from making videos. It's a little bit weird, but it is what it is. But I really shouldn't. Okay, I need to fix values. We can do set the string session. We don't really need a string session in here, do we? Right? Football is life. Yeah. This is my procrastination. But maybe we do a lunch break and I can call my brother who I haven't talked to. I've been meaning to speak to him for a bit, right? And then I can spend, say, 20 minutes working on a video script. I already have the set done. I already have a setup. I'm going to reward myself by building a new wall behind me after I've done my next video if it gets over a certain number of views, right? I just have to do it, right? This string session thing looks like it could cause me grief. I think I might get rid of that. The values is definitely going to be an issue. Oh, man. Should we break for lunch and we do this thing, and then I'll work on the video script a little bit, and I'll come back and do some more streaming afterwards. I think that might be a good way of doing this. If anyone's watching on like a TV or something, you probably want to not. Let's see, who should we raid? Great Theo. Let's do that. There we go, right? There we go. Okay, thank you all. I'll see you guys for my next stream, hopefully.